We had them for our labs a long time ago.
Yeah.
Ready? Great. All right. Good morning, everybody. We're going to get started. We are here for the Marion County Board of Commissioners weekly board session. It's Wednesday, April 23rd, 2025. It's 9:04 a.m. and we're in the Senator hearing room at 555 Court Street Northeast in Salem. And if you would please stand and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, so my glasses are cold. I can't see through them. All right, we don't have any public comment signed up. Is there anybody here for public comment? All right, we'll move on to our first presentation this morning. Allison, come forward. We're going to have a presentation from Liberty House.
Good morning, Commissioners. For the record, I'm Allison Kelly, and I'm the Chief Executive Officer of Liberty House, the Children's Advocacy Center serving Marion and Polk counties. If it's all right with you, we'd like to invite Marion County District Attorney Paige Clarkson and Chief Deputy District Attorney Brendan Murphy to also come up, and Marion County
suppose it's fine.
Sheriff Nick Hunter. And I'd like to introduce my colleague,
We have
Cameron,
to split the chaos.
Cameron Wolfer, and we'll explain why we're here. We'll try to keep it short.
Great, thank you.
Yeah. Good morning, Marion County Board of Commissioners. As Allison mentioned, I am Cameron Wolfer. I am the Assistant Deputy Chief Executive Officer and Marion County Child Abuse Multidisciplinary Team Coordinator working at Liberty House Children's Advocacy Center. Thank you for the time on the agenda today. It is an honor to be in front of you, and especially because it is Child Abuse Prevention Month in April. We are here, we at Liberty House appreciate the Marion County Sheriff's Office and the Marion County District Attorney's Office for being great partners with Liberty House on the MDT. First, for anyone watching today's meeting, because of the sensitive nature of the issue we will be talking about, abuse, neglect, trauma, and grief. And if you have or are going through that right now, help is available for you, and it is never too late to reach out and seek help. Liberty House is the Children's Advocacy Center serving Marion and Polk counties. As a CAC for this region, we provide specialized pediatric and therapy services for children referred for concerns of physical abuse, sexual abuse, neglect, witness to domestic violence, trafficking, and other types of trauma. We also provide a wide range of prevention education trainings. Liberty House opened in April 1999, and we have served 15,000 children in our 26 years. Liberty House is one of 24 CACs in Oregon and over 960 across the United States. In 2024, we served over 1,000 children between our clinic and therapy programs and provided prevention education for another 1,500 grown-ups. In 2023 and 2024, Liberty House received 338 referrals for our services associated with an active Marion County Sheriff's Office case. All of us who work at Liberty House are committed to helping children and families facing these types of concerns to get the best help possible. At Liberty House, our team of trauma specialists know that trauma does not have to have the last word in the child or family's life. With the right intervention, the weight of trauma can be lifted so that children, youth, and families can have a high likelihood of being safe, strong, and successful. Let me turn it over to Allison to speak a little bit more on this.
Thank you, Cameron. Commissioners, I think you are all so aware, and for anybody else who may not be as aware, the process of responding to concerns or allegations of abuse or neglect is really complicated. I honestly can't think of any other area of law that involves more complexity. In the criminal side, the rights of the accused, access to justice for victims, sound prosecutions, helping hold offenders accountable. In the family, the dependency side, there are 5 or 6 different kinds of law that come into play every single day. Today, we are here with a very special presentation honoring the Marion County Sheriff's Office and the Marion County District Attorney's Office. Oregon Public Policy says, we recognize this is complicated, so the District Attorney in every county shall convene a multidisciplinary team, a team of all the folks who are involved in understanding what has happened and what needs to happen next. Children who need our services have been through very difficult experiences, which is why there are rigorous national standards for accreditation. They're promulgated by an organization called the National Children's Alliance out of Washington, D.C. It's a private, nonprofit, non-governmental professional organization. The standards were developed by national specialists in medicine, social work, and mental health. They're high, very high, and only about half of Oregon CACs have achieved accreditation. The Marion County District Attorney's Office, under the leadership of Paige Clarkson, the DA, and now Chief Deputy District Attorney Brendan Murphy, leaned in, and we worked together very hard for several years to meet those standards. The Marion County Sheriff's Office provided incredible support as well. Because effectively responding to child abuse reports requires interagency coordination, we couldn't have met the standards without their robust involvement. Your Marion County Sheriff's Office and Marion County District Attorney's Office teams have worked energetically with us for all these years, and also including the people we've named. I'd really like to highlight Deputy District Attorney Shannon Sullivan and Deputy District Attorney Kylie Coons, who are here with us now, both of whom played and are currently playing an active role helping facilitate the Marion County multidisciplinary team, which includes all the law enforcement agencies, DHS, healthcare, hospitals, schools. This past January, we learned that our efforts had paid off, and we were informed that we had achieved national accreditation through the National Children's Alliance. And that is an honor not only for Liberty House, but all the agencies we've mentioned. During the October 2024 site visit, the very experienced site reviewers who had each conducted over 500 accreditation and reaccreditation site reviews told us that Liberty House and the Marion County MDT were among the top 5 they had ever seen in their careers. Your Sheriff's Office and DA's office are responsible for that happening. Their commitment to excellence, their focus on children, dedication to best practices set a powerful example countywide. So Board of Commissioners members, thank you for allowing us to be here today to present Sheriff Hunter and District Attorney Paige Clarkson with these framed awards as a way of thanking them. Thank you, all of you, for your commitment to helping keep children safe, helping to provide access to justice for these victims, best practices in holding offenders accountable, and helping to create a much brighter future for everybody involved. And again, like Cameron said, for anybody who might be listening, never too late to heal. Thank you for all you do to keep children safe. And, with your permission, unless you have any questions, we'd like to present these awards.
Thank you, Allison. Would you guys like to add anything for the record before we go through that?
Sure. Just briefly, although, is this working? Can you hear me?
Is the light on? There should
It's
be a
on.
light
I just felt like I wasn't echoing the way that I should be. Commissioners, for the record, I'm Paige Clarkson. I'm the District Attorney of Marion County. And I just want to echo what Allison said. I think both the sheriff and I, not to speak for him, but I speak for him regularly, I don't think either of us deserve any of the credit for what is happening here. I really think that one of the best parts about being a good leader is surrounding yourself, as you all know, with smarter people and people that are better than you. And I can say that both the sheriff and I have done that. The current MDT, as it currently stands, is 100% the brainchild of Brendan Murphy, the chief deputy of the DA's office. Without him, the process that we have, which is frankly unique and, as Allison said, better than most of the MDTs that exist across the nation. That started with Brendan realizing that we needed to really collaborate in a more robust, specific way. These teams meet every single day of the week, and that is unlike anywhere else. We can now do more in a 5-minute meeting than we used to be able to do in 5 months for children. That makes a difference every single day for the safety of kids in our community. That is 100% the collaboration between Brendan Murphy and Allison at Liberty House, 2 amazing leaders who have put children in our community first. Secondary to that are the investigators that investigate all these cases, not really secondary, but in addition to, they are boots on the ground every single day, and the stuff that they see, the things that they do, along with Allison's team, should not go unnoticed or unrecognized. The secondary trauma is real, right? And they willingly put put on their clothes every single day and choose to be in this world because it makes our community better. And then in the back of the room is Shannon Sullivan and Kylie Coons. They are both trial team leaders in our office. They both have headed or currently head our child abuse team, again, every single day, intentionally choosing to do these cases, to work with kids, to find justice for them, and to make them safer. None of this happens in a vacuum. This all happens because we have all chosen to do this work and to do it together. And I just want to make sure that the right people are getting the credit for that, because I can guarantee you it's not the sheriff and I. So thank you for that.
Sheriff Hunter?
Ditto.
There's never been a microphone you haven't wanted to use.
For the record, Nick Country, Marion County Sheriff. No, the DA very eloquently said everything really that needs to be said. This is not the DA and I. This is our teams. But this is something that everyone in Marion County should be very, very proud of. The standard that is set, and I will go ahead and highlight the same thing. Chief Deputy District Attorney Brendan Murphy, what he's done, what Allison and her team have done. It's kind of fun. And fun may not be the most politically correct word, but to sit back and watch this work. This is very hard work that Allison kind of recognized. Very difficult, but for this work to get done, it takes another level of dedication. It takes another level of commitment. And I'm very proud of these teams and what they are able to do, because at the end of the day, it's succession. It is our kids, and we want to see our kids succeed. We want to give our kids a pathway to success. And this is a way to heal that hurt and give a pathway to success. So very proud of everyone involved in this.
Thank you. Commissioners?
Just going to say the same thing that I always say. My fellow commissioners are going to be so annoyed with me, but it's true, which is kids don't have PACs. Kids don't have lobbyists. Kids aren't involved in the political process. So when our community comes together to stand up for our kids, it says something really important about our values. It says something about what's important to us as a community. So I just applaud all of you for your hard work every day, taking care of kids who have nobody to speak for them if you guys didn't do it. So thank you.
Commissioner Cameron?
Thank you, Madam Chair. This is probably one of the hardest things that I do every week or every year is when we recognize Child Abuse Prevention Week, and we're talking about things here that you know, how do we get to the root cause and eliminate all our jobs that we're talking about today? And that to me is one of the, you know, the majority of people in Marion County don't really realize what's happening. And I think by this presentation today and the accolades of the people that do this work, I think is a good awareness tool. But obviously, what are the things that are missing, you know, in our society here in Marion County that could really reduce this? And I think of that all the time when we do this, especially in April when we hang all those blue ribbons. It's like, it would be a great day in heaven if that tree didn't have one on it. And I just thank you for the work that you're doing. But the prevention, we've still got a long ways to go. And you know, the assistant district attorney, I remember meeting him at the juvenile department 10.5 years ago when he was doing that work. And I know that, Brandon, you have a passion for this, and I think we all do. But whatever we can do to try to eliminate those ribbons would be a wonderful thing. So thank you for all the work you're doing.
Commissioners, with your permission, if I could speak to that briefly. Liberty House was started by community leaders 26 years ago and exists for the community. And anybody could go on the libertyhousecenter.org website and see a whole host of free trainings, prevention trainings, the program that we launched to make it accessible for everybody to help learn skills to keep children in their lives safe. So we hear that value very dearly and have tried to bring resources to the table to support you for that.
Thank you, Allison. Brendan, you haven't said anything. Would you like to?
Sure. Commissioners, good morning. My name, for the record, is Brendan Murphy. I'm the Chief Deputy District Attorney in the Marion County DA's office. I just want to thank all the partnership through the years and the people we work with every day.
I knew somebody was going to get to the point of showing the real emotion that occurs every single moment that you all do this work. When I met the district attorney in 2020 for coffee at Ike Box, we were having a pleasant conversation, and I asked her, "What do you do?" I mean, I have a general idea. I've watched Law and Order. I have a general idea. And she said, "If you don't know, you're welcome." And that is probably one of the most profound statements. And while she was joking, because she missed her calling as a comedian, for sure. Stand up, give her a mic, she does well. Probably the greatest understatement of anything she's ever said in her life. I had no idea before I was a commissioner the pain that goes on in our community. I know a lot of the members in our community. I've worked alongside Liberty House families and others in our community trying to take care of the most vulnerable. But we miss an opportunity to take care of those who take care of the vulnerable. I appreciate that you're here today, Allison, just recognizing the effort that Brendan has so passionately put into this effort for this MDT and everybody that does this work. But we as a society could do much greater by benefiting the people who show up every day to put on their clothes, to take care of those who are our neighbors, who we truly love, to make a healthy community around us. I don't know what that looks like, but I think we could start by next year during the Child Abuse Prevention Parade, seeing more cars come. And we could see more blue ribbons worn every single day of the month of April, just to make a declaration that we don't just see the victims, but we see the people who are doing the work. We don't just do proclamations up here because it's what people ask us to do. It's because we believe in the words on the proclamations when we present them. And we hope that it resonates with the members of the trades that are producing the outcomes. But I don't think it ever really gets there. So this is just one small opportunity to say thank you. And genuinely, we appreciate everything that you do, and we recognize the pain that a lot of you carry around every single day and the impacts that it makes on not just you, but your families. So thanks for your service. And if you'd like to present, and would you ladies please come forward for the presentation?
Liberty House, I happily present you, Sheriff Hunter, with an award. Thank you so much for your commitment to children.
And Paige,
Brendan, could you please be in the middle? Or the commissioner will stay on the outside. All we do is help make sure you have a paycheck.
Paige, Brendan, Kylie, and your entire office and team, we thank you so much, and we'd love to present this framed thank you statement for you. And we appreciate your leadership, and let's have less work to do.
Are we ready for the photo?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, our second presentation is a Travel Salem Quarterly Report. Kelly and Angie.
Good morning, Commissioners. It is extremely hard to follow up such an awesome proclamation and good work the Liberty House does. My name is Kelly Weiss. I'm the Community Services Director here at Marion County. And this morning, we're hosting Travel Salem. They're going to be providing a report towards their tourism promotion efforts for the second quarter of this year. Marion County has a 2-year agreement with Travel Salem, which allocates $117,500 each fiscal year from the Economic Development Program's Lottery Fund to Travel Salem to perform this work. Their current agreement expires in June of this year. So with that quick information and introduction, I'll turn it over to Angie from Travel Salem for her presentation.
Good morning, Commissioners. Thank you again for having me here. And before I start, I just want to say that was profoundly touching, what we just heard. And it's incredibly inspiring to see the level of collaboration and the quality of the work that happens here in the county. Obviously, it's a little bit hard of an act to follow to now talk about tourism, but we do invite people from all over the world to come to our communities here. And it's wonderful to have that feeling that we're inviting them into a community that really cares and that does great work. So I really want to thank all of you and your team and Liberty House for what they do.
Thanks, Chief.
So we're going to talk about the third quarter report. I'm going to breeze through this. Please feel free, as always, to stop me and ask questions. We're talking about the January, February, March period that just closed. I'd like to share some results that happened from our Willamette Valley Ornament Hunt that we partner with the Willamette Valley Visitors Association on. And it's an ornament hunt that happens in the Willamette National Forest each year, November and December. They hide 200 ornaments, and people from all over the country and world come to find those little treasures. We had more than 18,000 views on our homepage regarding this hunt. We published 27 stories that reached about 23 million people about this unique experience. And we had a lot of engagement on our social media posts, but there's just an example here to show you what the ornaments looked like and what people were finding in our beautiful forest here. On the public relations and social media side, got a ton of great coverage for the county. We had coverage in Tate Group magazine for the Butteville store and the Shampooey State Heritage area. We had coverage in the Oregonian for the Museum of Natural History and the Mount Angel Abbey. In Northwest Travel for the Oregon Garden, and Seabright Gardens actually published something around Brooks and Mount Angel Volksfest and Silver Falls State Park. We have so many great things to talk about in this community. We have really incredible treasures here that make us a very unique destination. You can see the value of that coverage. This is earned media. So we're not paying for this coverage. We actually have staff that work very hard to build relationships with editors and influencers to gain this type of coverage for our community. On the social media side, we produced during that 3-month period 20 videos and received about 250,000 views of those videos. And you can see the Marion County attractions that were featured there. I won't read through that list. You can read them more quickly than I can speak them. And I had an example here of the Enchanted Forest Post video that we created, and that had tremendous visibility with almost 20,000 views across our social media channels. Our digital marketing, we're able to track that progress. So this is looking at our blogs, our social media posts, and things like that, our online advertising that we do, and how that actually drives room nights to our community here. So we can track from the first moment that someone sees the ad or the post to what they actually do in booking that room in our market. So compared to last fiscal year, which was a 1 to 10 return on ad spend, we're at a 1 to 16 return on ad spend. So every dollar that we spend, we return $16 back to the community on that. On the Expedia side, which is the largest booking engine in the world, they are a behemoth in that space. We need to make sure that we have a presence there, and we do it very uniquely. We don't run banner ads on Expedia. What we do is we partner with Travel Oregon, and they do a follow-up email campaign that targets people that went onto Expedia and searched Oregon, or were looking in Portland, or maybe they were even looking in Vancouver or in Washington or Northern California for a travel experience. And they retarget that person with an ad that promotes our community here. And you can see the red highlighted areas there where we're promoting our experiences here. So that advertising that we're doing with Travel Oregon, it only costs us in a year about $100,000. We're leveraging about another $300,000 of other partners that are doing that advertising. And for this fiscal year so far, July through March, we've driven about $2 million in hotel revenue through those efforts. Our visitor guide just published. You should have an example of that at your Sitting there, each of you, we have taken the time to highlight each mention of a Marion County asset in that guide. You can see the hundreds of mentions in there, that's very intentional. Marion County is an incredibly unique experience for our visitors, from the culinary side to recreation to the cultural heritage assets in the community. So not a hard task to share all of that good news. We do publish 120,000 of those guides. We distribute them through a proprietary distribution system to more than 800 locations throughout Oregon, California, Washington, and British Columbia. And we also send them across the world because we get a lot of requests for those. On the destination development side, we have our Mid-Willamette Valley Tourism and Economic Development Consortium that we put on. In the third quarter, we featured Greg Leo, who is with the Leo Company. He provided a very useful update on a proposed Oregon legislation that would affect the tourism and hospitality industries. We had 8 communities attend that, and we are continuing that series with the consortium. We do it quarterly each year. We're planning content for next year. We're going to be talking about things like wildfires, wildfire mitigation. We're going to be talking about dark skies, and all kinds of great stuff. Lastly, just to share an update on our work with Avelo. The route to Las Vegas is set to relaunch on May 1st, so just around the corner. We have been marketing that since March to drive ticket sales for those flights, doing through digital ads, boosted social media, and streaming videos. And we're marketing that not only in the Salem region, but also in the Portland markets as well. We have spent so far around $200,000 of our private MRG. We have $350,000 that was raised from community members here. We've spent about 56% of that to ensure that Avelo is healthy each month that they operate here. So that continues to go very well. The Burbank flight out of Salem continues to be the #1 Burbank route in the Avelo portfolio, so it's doing very well. And I might anticipate a question coming from the commissioners about recent publicity that Avelo has received about doing contract work with the federal government on deportation flights. They are doing those out of Arizona. They're not doing them out of our market. That was a financial decision, business decision by Avelo. So any concerns that we've heard, we've forwarded back directly on to Avelo. But that is not directly impacting anything here happening in Salem. None of the funding that's gone to these to the carrier has anything to do to support what's happening there. So I know that's been a concern that we've heard in the community. I didn't know if you might have a question, so I thought I'd just anticipate that. But we are in talks with another carrier coming into the market. They would look at serving Phoenix, San Francisco, and Seattle. And so we're hoping to diversify our portfolio at the airport as soon as possible. Thank you for your time today. I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have.
Andrew, what does it mean that you've raised local funds to keep Avelo healthy?
So as in any airline recruitment effort, it's happening across the country, communities are raising local funds essentially as an incentive to entice an airline to come and do business in their market. And our market revenue guarantee, which is what MRG stand for, is our way of saying to Avelo, as you start up service here in our community, if you're upside down in any month, we're going to make you whole to make sure that the service is solid and can continue forward in perpetuity. And so we raised a total of $1.2 million. $850,000 came from a federal grant, from the SCASD grant that we did, and then we also raised the $350,000 from local businesses and individuals that wanted to help us secure air service. So does that answer?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
You bet.
Commissioners, do you have any questions or comments?
Go ahead.
I just had a question about this Avelo thing. They used to have a flight to Napa,
Seminoma.
but not anymore.
No.
Okay.
No, they actually had launched several routes from different hub locations from there, and it didn't work. The numbers didn't pan out, so they canceled all those routes. Yeah.
So what are they flying currently?
From Salem, they fly to Burbank, and they fly to Las Vegas.
Okay, but the Vegas one's been on hold?
Has been on hold. And there's a little bit of a misperception out there about that. It's not that they all of a sudden decided to pull back out of Vegas. That was always in their route planning for just fluctuation during seasonal periods. And so we always knew that they were going to pull back during that period. It also protects the MRG, and it makes sure that they aren't running flights that are empty during a period when people aren't really flying to Vegas from here. So they naturally were planning to relaunch in May.
When, is there a busy season this summer for Vegas? Or?
Yes, basically through the end of the year, through New Year's Eve, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And in the spring, it's not as busy, is that?
Not as busy. Mm-mm.
Okay.
Burbank is busy year-round. In our data, when we were actually looking to recruit a carrier in here, we saw those numbers in the feasibility studies that we did. And so we knew that was the case from the data, too.
Cameron?
Yeah, thanks, Angela, for your presentation. Is this on the Willamette River?
Yes.
Do you know where they took this?
Just right out here,
Where they did the boat,
Riverfront Park. Yeah, Riverfront Park.
it was the races, what do you call those races?
The dragon boat races?
Dragon boat races. Did you know, I thought there's a bullet in there that I think this is really cool. The Willamette River is one of the only rivers in the nation that runs south to north.
Yes.
Oh, cool, that is cool.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
The next
the
one,
only one
I'm
that
not going to
runs.
read the next one,
Bump,
but
bump. I was like, what's the end of that?
the next bullet, no,
That's
it's,
cool, that's cool.
it's really cool because
Come on,
most,
That's cool.
It is
right?
cool, but I was waiting for the punchline, which he finally got to.
Well,
North
and-
to south.
well, I thought maybe
Whatever.
everybody here knew that, right?
No, and it's actually one of the reasons why we were able to land Ironman here, because it's a downriver swim, which is counterintuitive, but it makes it the times that they can perform their half marathon or half Ironman here are improved because that downriver swim is so speedy for them,
Yeah.
less effort. Mhm.
And we can stop the train and we can change the level of the rivers. I never thought I was Superman, right?
You are.
And then in 2023, Time Magazine named Willamette Valley as one of the world's greatest places.
Yes,
Do we have that article someplace? Do you have that framed
absolutely.
somewhere?
We'll send it to you.
Yeah, would you? That'd be great.
You bet.
I mean, do we want that? I don't want more people coming here.
I
think it's fine.
No,
We got like,
Well, they can come,
Wait.
but then they need to go.
right,
Wait.
yeah, like, let the New Yorkers stay in
we'll
New
get,
York.
We'll get the governor to put the sign up that says, I remember this as a kid coming to Oregon, and who was the governor that put the sign up down in the I-5?
Was it Tia?
It said, welcome to Oregon, enjoy your visit, and visit was underlined in red.
I think it was it Vicatia that he said?
No, it was
No, it was
before.
McCall. It was McCall.
McCall, yeah, McCall.
Come
And
to
then-
those day.
And then the other things, and this is, these people probably don't even remember this, you might remember it, but the Henry Weinhardt's commercials, anybody here remember those? Hey, where are you going with all that there beer, right? You know, they're trying to sneak beer into Oregon or something, right? You don't remember that?
I don't.
Okay, Google Henry Weinhardt's early commercials, they're pretty cool.
No, I
Okay.
can't remember that.
Well,
No.
the good thing about the visitors that do come here, some of them decide to move here and, raise their families here and open businesses here. So it does feed the engine over time, but
We are one of the fastest growing places, we know that, and we know why. But we also have, some challenges with exodus of equity in our state, and we know why too. So we've got to probably fix some of our situations to keep people here that we need to stay here.
Absolutely.
So, all right, thank you.
thank you for your
All right,
time.
thanks for being here. Thanks, Kelly.
Of course.
All right. I don't remember who read the consent agenda last week. So Commissioner Willis, would you read it?
Happy to, Madam Chair.
Great.
All right, Madam Chair, I move that we adopt the consent agenda under Assessor's Office. Approve Amendment Number 3 to the contract for services with Retail Lockbox Incorporated to add $200,000 for a new contract total of $465,000 and extend the term date to June 30th, 2027 for lockbox services to support the Treasurer's Office and tax services. Under Public Works, approve Amendment Number 1 to the engineering and related services contract with AKS Engineering and Forestry LLC to add $59,995 in Oregon Watershed Enhancement Board grant funding for a new contract total of $217,015 to provide topographic surveying and geotechnical alternatives for Niagara Park as part of the Santiam Canyon Parks Recovery Project through December 31st, 2027. And approve amendment number 1 to the construction contract with Fairline Bridge Incorporated to add $199,500, of which an estimated $179,011.35 will utilize federal funding, and an estimated $20,488.65 will utilize county funds for change orders relating to the decking, mobilization, timber stringers for a new contract total of $3,542,409.73 for the Rambler Drive Southeast Little Pudding River Bridge project through August 21st, 2025.
I'll second the motion.
A motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Aye, the motion passes. All right, now we'll move on to items under action. Stephanie is going to come forward and we're going to consider some board appointments. Good morning.
I brought a lot of people with me today.
That's fine. Good morning.
Good morning. So we're here today, oh, I'm
Just speak
Stephanie.
into the microphone, and if you can't hear yourself, neither can we.
For the record, I'm Stephanie Pulvers with Marion County Public Works. We're here today to appoint 4 members. I have 3 of them with me, but 4 members to the Marion Water Quality Advisory Committee. The advisory committee is really helpful in helping staff put regulations into place and figuring out how we're gonna meet regulation without impacting our community too much. We really rely on their help when we're forming new programs or reviewing new regulations and such. And I guess with that, unless you have any questions about what the advisory committee does, I'm gonna let each of them
We won't, but the
introduce
public will,
themselves.
so you should tell the public what it does.
Okay,
Okay.
yeah, so that's currently, how many members do we have? Currently, we have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 members, with only 1 vacant position. It's the fullest, I think, maybe it's ever been, which is really exciting to us. And we meet quarterly, and like I said just a little bit ago, this advisory committee is made up of both industry experts and members at large, and they just kind of help us work through how we're going to implement new things, give advice on how certain proposals that the staff has to meet regulations will impact the community or their specific industry. And so it's a good group effort to work things out and make sure we're checking all the boxes that we need to check and making everyone happy. So with that, we'll start with Brent. Brent, go ahead.
Thank you. For the record, Brent Stevenson. I manage Santiam Water Control District. This will be my 3rd term, I believe, on the commission. And I just, I find great pleasure in representing the agricultural community. I have about 40 years' experience in agricultural irrigation, and 30 of that here in Marion County. So I'm well involved. Do feel a privilege to represent the agricultural community. Most of those guys don't have time or the availability to speak for themselves, and I think you all understand how important they are.
Thanks, Brent.
Brent has.
Angela?
Hi, I'm Angela Plowhead, and that's loud.
That was working well today.
And I am a member of the Marion Water and Soil Conservation Board, and so part of my responsibilities to my constituents of Marion County is to serve on this board for water quality, and I am happy to do that.
Thank you.
Yes, that position has been vacant for a very long time, so we're very excited to welcome Angela on and have that representation.
Great.
Commissioners, I'm very happy to be here. My name is Lyle Schellenberg. I'm a retired ditch digger. And beyond that, also served as president of the Northwest Utility Contractors Association and president of the National Utility Contractors Association. And I've lobbied Congress in DC for clean water issues and funding for clean water. So my history with supporting and lobbying for clean water goes back a long ways. And I'm super excited to be able to participate on a local level. And I hope that my experience from all the different boards and associations and that I've served on has a great deal of experience that helps me focus on and bring new ideas to the Water Quality Advisory Commission or Committee.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Anything else?
And the last member is Richard Walker. He's been on the committee since 2013. He was not able to be here today, but he is a local, he works for an engineering firm, AKS Engineering. So he brings the kind of land development side to things and helps us understand from the contractor's perspective.
Great. Sounds like you have a good crew. All right. Any questions?
Yeah, ditch digger, I always say I'm a hamburger flipper, but when you say ditch digger, what's that? What'd you do?
Well, actually I was a trenchless ditch digger because I specialize in boring holes under roads for water, sewer, all kinds of pipelines, whatever you want to put under roads, railways, rivers, airport runways, sort of a specialty. And although I was located in Salem, we worked in 5 states, kind of just based here in Salem.
Interesting work.
It is.
Yeah. Thank you, Madam Chair.
All right. Anything else you think?
Okay. Madam Chair, I will move that we approve an order appointing Richard Walker, Lyle Schellenberg as at-large members, Brent Stevenson as agricultural industry representative, and Angela Plowhead as the Soil and Water Conservation District representative to the Marion County Water Quality Advisory Committee with terms ending December 31st, 2028.
I'll second the motion.
A motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
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 Aye, the motion passes. Thank you. Nice to see you today.
Thank you.
All right, Chris, come forward so we can consider the approval of an intergovernmental agreement with the City of Mill City.
Good morning, Commissioners. For the record, Chris Einmo, Senior Project Manager, Marion County Public Works. I'm here to present an IGA between the county and the City of Mill City for $2,500,000 in American Rescue Plan Act funding. So, essential background that there were 2 awards made by the legislature with common purpose of sewer improvements in Mill City and Gates. One was the award of $50 million that Marion County received for the North Santiam Canyon Sewer Project, 40 of which was for the wastewater treatment construction in Mill City. And there was a $2.5 million award to the City of Mill City, administered by Business Oregon, for improvements to their collection system, because the overall project at the time involved conveying flows from Gates to Mill City, and that their existing sewer system would need to be upgraded to move it through their system to get to the plant. Since then, we've done some further design and identified significant savings in cost and time by moving the Gates pipeline to the south side of the river, which would bypass Mill City and connect directly to the plant. But there are additional construction funds that are needed for the Mill City treatment plant. So Mill City, in consultation with Business Oregon, that what do we kind of do with this now, where there is a need? And so their recommendation was just to do a simple pass-through and contribute that money to the construction of the Mill City treatment facility. So first step is they need us to sign an IGA with Mill City so that we can take on the construction, and instead of actually upgrading their lift stations with it, we'll simply add it to the overall construction funding for the treatment plant. After that, Mill City will amend its agreement with Business Oregon to rescope that $2.5 million to the construction as per our IGA.
Any questions?
No, I've not heard about this.
I feel like we've heard about this.
Okay.
Pretty straightforward.
Yep,
All right,
all
Madam
right.
Chair, I move that we approve the incoming funds intergovernmental agreement with the City of Mill City to receive $2.5 million in Federal American Rescue Plan Act funding for the North Santiam Sewer Project through September 30th, 2026.
I'll second the motion.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
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 Aye, the motion passes.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Chris. I will now pause the Board of Commissioners meeting and open a public hearing to receive testimony on the use of the proposed alternative competitive solicitation process to procure design, build, contract services for the Marion County Canyon Alert System. Ryan? Wherever you want. Yeah. I feel like this is your desk when you're here, so just,
I was going to say, it feels awkward to
Yeah.
sit over there, even when I don't have a presentation.
yeah, you're welcome, wherever you
So-
want.
For the record, Ryan Cruther, Marion County Public Works. And before you is a request for an exemption to Marion County Public Contracting Rules. I will start with a brief description of the project. So the project includes constructing an alert system for use in populated areas within the Santiam Canyon in case of emergency. So that would be through audible alerts, sirens. The system would be able to notify the public if, say, there was no cell phone service, if we'd lost power. We'd prioritize locations that were needed in case of emergency. And then we received a $1.8 million grant through the Community-Oriented Policing Services Office of Technology and Equipment Program. This grant has to be completed by March 31st of 2026. So the request is that Marion County Public Works receive an exemption to certain Marion County public contracting rules to authorize the use of design, build, project delivery, and alternative contracting procedures as specified in Marion County Public Contracting Rules 40-0600 to 40-0690 and ORS 279C.335 for this project. Marion County Public Contracting Rules and ORS both allow the Marion County Contract Review Board to grant an exemption to the low bid design bid build process that is typically used for procurement if we support it with our findings from staff. You do have the findings in front of you. I will briefly describe the benefits to the public. There is a significant amount of additional information in that report. And so if you have any questions on that, please let me know. These systems are proprietary in nature. That is one of the largest reasons we are looking at this design build process. The public benefit of that includes allowing the suppliers to use those proprietary systems, design a system that actually matches with what they can provide. And it would allow that competition from the various manufacturers instead of trying to do a design bid build, which requires all of the design to be done up front and to bid a specific project. We actually would release performance specifications. So we outline the end goal, exactly what we want from the project, and they're able to use those proprietary systems to achieve that end goal. Design build also allows for an accelerated timeline that would allow our county to deliver this project within the grant timeline. We also have a criteria within design build that allows for performance to be a measure in selection instead of just cost, which allows the county to receive a system that is in the best interest of the county, not just based on that low bid. We believe that allowing design build on this contract would not limit competition in this situation because of these requirements. And so we've, again, put a lot of information in that staff report. We did notice the public hearing on April 4th. We did not receive any comments through our contracts group based on that notification.
Thank you, Ryan. Commissioners, do you have any questions? No?
Not at this time.
Okay, there's
Anybody
nobody
signed
signed up for public comment. Is there anybody in the audience that wants to provide public comment? Okay, so we will adjourn the public hearing and convene as a contract review board to consider approval of an order granting exemption to allow for the use of an alternative competitive solicitation process for the Marion County Canyon Alerts Project pursuant to the Marion County Public Contracting Rules for Public Improvement. I don't know what you say. You just said it.
Well, Madam Chair, I'll make a motion to approve an order granting an exemption to allow for the use of an alternative competitive solicitation process for the Marion County Canyon Alerts Project pursuant to Marion County Public Contracting Rules for Public Improvement.
I'll second the motion.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye, the motion passes. Thanks, Ryan.
Thank you.
I will now adjourn, the Contract Review Board and reconvene as a Board of Commissioners. There's nothing additional on the agenda, Commissioners. Is there anything you'd like to add for the record?
Our bill is up today.
Which
Our-
one?
Our
We
bill,
have-
our sewer bill that we need to start construction on.
Yes,
Yeah, so excited about that.
for the
Well, it
Mill
was.
City wastewater project.
It was, it just disappeared.
I was just talking to Representative Deal late last night, and he was prepared for it.
So maybe. that's
Maybe it was
interesting.
moved to tonight's floor session, because they're having double sessions now, in the morning and night. In the
Yeah,
House.
anyways, we'll find out.
Okay, anything else?
It's good?
Great, we're adjourned.
All right. Brenda, I never could.